Hey guys, it's Pulsar. I want to show you 12 hidden mechanics in Guilty Gear Accent Core plus R that are more than likely being exploited against you. This is targeted definitely at the newer players that haven't been playing the game for 50 million years. I know that everything I show here is done very quickly and is meant for, enlightening the masses. So let's start off with something simple. Throws and running. If you haven't noticed, right, if you try to run into a floor throw, it doesn't work. You can kind of do it with a back throw, but it's actually a little bit slow. Right, there's like some timing involved. However, if you were to use the Faultless defense to stop your dash animation, right? Because if you haven't noticed, when you see that little slide animation she's doing right when she's trying to stop, you can't actually really throw until a certain amount of time has passed during that animation. So what you do is you cancel that animation with the FD. And what that does is it lets you throw almost immediately. That. So yeah, it's called the FD stop. And I guess for branching off from FD stops, we can do FD cancels. This is pretty dominantly found with air normals, especially like your air command normals. If you have an air command normal, they're all FD cancelable. So that means that we're basically to do an FD from this attack. So it'll look something like this. There we go. There you go. There you go. Yeah. There you go. In order to do this, right, you basically hit the command button, then you roll into the FD of the two other buttons that you're pressing. So for like Bay's example, right, I'm doing far slash and then slash at the same, like almost in like sequence, and I get that. And what happens is that May falls down a little bit slower. There's one normal that's actually also FD cancelable, and that's your dust attack. This isn't very useful unless your character has an attack that actually changes the momentum. But luckily May does kind of like floats up in the air, right? So what happens when you do this is... There you go. This is a little bit more quirky, a little bit more fun. On rare occasions I'll pull this out every once in a while, so I'm not saying that it's not useless. I think also Eno players can use it too. If you haven't experienced the FD canceling of Eno's jump dust, I highly recommend you go into training mode, turn on Infinite Meter, and then just start going ham with this. And just watch your character go off screen. It's pretty good. Okay, let's break away from the FDC and go to SBC. What's SB? Well, that's slashback. Right? This is basically like super FD. And then if you try to do it like for its actual purpose, it functions like a parry in Third Strike. But what we're going to talk about is how to use that as a cancel. The main application, right, is, well, you can't FDC an air dash move attack, right? Because your FD comes out way late. Like, look at that, that's how late it took you. Right towards the tail end of the air dash. That's when you can do the Faultless defense cancel. However, if you notice, you can slash back almost immediately while you're air dashing. So this can also be used to do like an FDC in the air. But instead of doing an FD, we're doing a slash back. And so we're going to do it to down, May's jumping down hard slash. And I should also let her do this move, this cancel really early, basically. So here we go. There it is. Like, wow! What uses does it have? Well, it's a very specific use, typically, for me at least, if I do ever get to use it. And that's usually if I want to, like, right, I don't want to air dash at Johnny, right, because like, he'll hit me with a 6B. But I could do something like this. Oops, I didn't do that thing. But it would be like that. Then all of a sudden, right, if Johnny were to do 6P, my anchor would hit his fist, and then I would get a counter hit combo. There's applications like that. So, but yeah, check it out with your characters. I think Faust should have something with it, but I can't say for certain. There is one more application for slashback, and that's for the use of air dashing. This is character specific, and I don't know offhand like who it really affects. But I know Baiken and I want to say it's Dizzy. If they slashback while they air dash, they can actually move further, like by a substantial amount, like maybe like 10% further, maybe. So what this can do for like Bacon in particular, right? So if I air dash and do jump slash, it doesn't hit Johnny, right? But if I do the slashback, I should be able to reach him. Yeah, like that. Like I said, this is character specific. You should definitely check it out. Check your own character and see if you can do a slashback to enhance the distance of your character. I believe there's also reportings that you can actually your slashbacking your air dash actually might make your character like your air dash shorter. So just be wary of that. Or just keep it in your pocket, right? It might be something that you could use to really beat out an anti-air or something. Did you guys know that jump does have landing recovery? This is very important to understand because you can actually punish this recovery. And while you might not think it's super common, to me it's enough of something for me to notice if I see a player do it. Because, you know, if you can find a way to get an active attack on it, or get beneath it, you can punish it. So real quick, I'll show you. So there's jump slash. Right, I'm gonna try it. Here we go. Right, so like, yeah, jump slash, they don't have any landing recovery, so I couldn't punish it. But we'll have Johnny super jump and do a jump dust, and then he's holding down back. Now let's see if we can punish that. Right, bam, free. Of course, there's a caveat to this, right? There's timing involved, and also typically people can move after a jump dust. But it's up to you as a player, right, to figure out if you can punish it or not. I know I definitely look for it because it's basically a free chance for you to move in because, like I said, they have forced recovery, right? They can't even do buds out of it. So if you take that small opportunity to go in on your opponent, it can really change the flow of the battle. So this game has some really strange dashes in it too. Typically everyone has a run. Like Mei has a run, right? But you're probably wondering why Anji? Well, Anji is one of the few characters I know of that can randomly crush lows while he's running. Like that. I know there are a few other characters, but they typically can't do it while they're running. They have to do it when they're stopping. Like when they're doing their default, like their braking animation. And I believe those characters are Baiken. I want to say Soul. Soul can also do it when he breaks. But I tried to record it earlier, but the timing was so difficult that I couldn't get it to work. If anyone knows offhand who can actually dodge lows while running, please post it down below. That'd be super great. So there are 3 characters that have like rule-breaking dashes. And that's Testament, Dizzy, and Justice if she is in Dragon Install. And they break it because, well, their dashes are actually just straight up low in wool. So yeah, you can't actually hit them low if they're dashing at you. I need to mention something important though about this. I said it has to be like a low profiling attack, like very, very low to the floor. So like Potemkin's 2 or 5k or 2k, they actually hit like basically at their knees. They can't dash over this, right? Like no matter what, like they can't go over it. However, they can go over an attack like slide hit. If my timing wasn't piss poor. There you go, like something like that. So it's not uncommon to see Dizzy do something like, right? They will just dash over slide heads and throw you. I mean, there are attacks that you could definitely dash over. Like Kai's 2D is a pretty good one. Just remember that you have to be in the dash. You have to be doing the actual dash itself. If you go and press back at any point, you will get hit out of the low. So just be careful about that. And it's good to know, especially if you're playing, you know, Dizzy Testament, or if you're in Dragon Install and you're playing Justice. Don't worry about the Justice one. It's not relevant. Okay, Dust, baby. Yeah! So this... Right, this is an iconic move for Guilty Gear, right? You hit the Dust button, it's an overhead, it sends your opponent flying. You can hit some buttons in the air, get some nice damage, right? But the problem is that they can tech in, your opponent can tech in the air, and you end up having to chase them around. There is an actual hidden mechanic called the Impossible Dust, right? And what this is that you're hitting the opponent while they're floating away, and then for whatever reason, that attack that hit them while they're floating away has a lot more of untechable time, right? That means they'll basically fall to the floor sometimes if you time it properly. No promises like it for that timing, but what this really opens up is the ability to get your opponent low enough to the ground that you could probably score a knockdown depending on your character a lot easier. So, like, I know for me, like, this is super easy if I just do something like this. Like that, right? Of course, there are very, very cool combos using this Impossible Dust mechanic. I just don't really practice them very much, so I can't do anything super fancy with me. But I highly suggest you look into your character's Impossible Dust, especially if you're more set play oriented, like Eddie, Testament, you know. You really want to get that hard knockdown from from that hit. Alright, guys. I'm gonna show you the weirdest thing about the dust though. This is where combo videos come in to like show you the wonkiness of the game. So first, May only has a double jump, right? And then she has an air dash. But during the dust, there's the weird properties that are caused by voodoo magic? I really don't know what causes it. But, so, all I know is, right, so you have this homing dash, right? For that duration that you're doing the homing dash, as long as you are able to perform the homing dash, you can keep air dashing or double jumping. So it'll look something like this. So there you go, I did a double jump and an air dash, which breaks the game's rules. This is where you go to make weird combo videos for Guilty Gear, alright? You play with this dust system, and you make some really absurd combos. I'm almost positive Testament actually is one of the only characters that I know of that will probably use this for one of their dust combos, right? For their, I guess, dust impossible dust combos. This is probably a setup that's not for everyone, but it is something that will definitely cause you to lose a match or two, I would say. And that is that supers and projectiles have a weird existence together in this game. So what happens? I'll show you with Kai. Move Kai. We're gonna have Kai do a fireball into his sacred edge. And look at my inputs. Bam. You see that? The inputs show that I'm holding back, but that charge stun still hit me, and then the sacred edge came right afterwards. This is an issue with just I don't know. It's like a weird state that the game has where the super flash doesn't take your inputs and projectiles keep moving. It's a weird bug. So I can think of like 3 characters that typically can take advantage of it. Right, this is one right here. He was the poster boy of it in XX. Dizzy can definitely do it with the fish. May is definitely a good candidate now that she has the new hoop. So you can do something like this. You're like, oh, look at you, Kai, you're looking so cool. Surprise whale attack! Or something like that, right? It's something I do. I personally do it with May quite a bit. Bursts are they're only striking vulnerable in most cases, and we'll get to those cases in a second after this is explained this. That means that you can't actually strike. You can't hit it. No matter what you do, you can't hit it when they are exploding, or they're bursting. What you can do is throw it like that. This is aka the burst throw, called the Soul Stealer. This is probably the most demoralizing thing you can do to your opponent, right? Because it's a hard read, and what you do is you basically sacrifice the punish on the burst for the throw. Typically, it is always better to block the burst and then go for a punish. She's really bad at this. There you go. Right, something like that. That's ideally what you want to do. Okay, let's get to the cases that I was talking about. There's one scenario where the bursting is actually ideal, even regardless if it's quote-unquote unsafe. That's after an OTG hit, and I'm going to show you why. Back throw them. OTG hit. Yeah, it doesn't work. You cannot throw that burst. The added benefit too is, well, let's say you go for the standard punish. You want to do the block punish. That also is changed in this situation as well. So here we go. I'm going to do it again. There you go. If you didn't notice, yeah, Johnny did not pop up there. Nor did the last 2 hits do any damage at all. Well, they do some amounts of damage, but they are incredibly scaled. I'm trying to scan. Like, look at that. That did nothing. That did no amount of damage. And if you're really curious, I'll show you how much damage those 4 jabs will do normally. Right? It didn't even do that much damage. It did maybe a jab's worth of damage with almost 4 hits. OTG bursts are incredibly strong if you really need to get that offensive burst to come out. You can't be throwing, right? So there's no soul stealing. And also, if you do take the hits on the... when you do get punished normally, quote-unquote normally, you will no longer take a proper punish, right? You are in that OTG state, which means that you'll take reduced damage, and you can't be juggled. That's an important thing to remember with OTG Burst, and it's nuanced enough that you should probably keep it in mind. Typically, you should always just burst, you know, like I said, special moves or things that you know that the opponent cannot jump cancel or do whatever to punish you and whatnot. We're gonna talk about opti selecting. So if you guys notice, right, you do throw with hard slash, you do forward hard slash or back hard slash, right? And if you look at Johnny, this is attack. You do not want to whiff when you go for your throw, right? So let's say May's jumping and I want to just throw that, right? And then I get BAM! I do a forward hard slash. Either it hits and it's glorious, or it whiffs and I get punished for all my life. This is where the opti select comes in. What you can do with Guilty Gear's opti select system is cancel hard slash and slash together. Cancel them together. You can do them together simultaneously, and in the event that you're close enough, you will get a close slash, right, with this button, or you'll get the throw. This is great because you don't longer have to worry about risking throwing out this move and getting yourself killed. So I'm going to show you what it looks like on inputs from a mile away. So there's forward and hard slash together, right? I'm getting the far slash, right, because that's how proximity normals work. But as I get closer, I'm doing a close slash. And that move is incredibly good. There's no recovery. I mean, there's some recovery, but this move is way better than whiffing that move. And as you get closer, you'll notice that I get a throw. My input didn't change. It's just that I got close enough to do a throw, and I killed May. The other thing you can do the option select from is 6P. Or not 6P, but I mean, it is going to be 6P. But any command normal. So in this case, you know, forward and punches. Johnny's anti-air, it's also his command normal. If I go into range, I'm going to walk forward, walk forward, walk forward, walk forward. Oh, I hit her. Okay, let's walk even closer. There you go, I got the throw. And if you notice the inputs at the bottom, it's the same input. This is super, super powerful, especially for characters that have like lengthier recovery on their moves. I highly recommend you incorporate this into your game plan if you're going for a throw. This also does work with jump normals. The button priority is a little bit tricky, I would say. I think it's any button, almost. Yeah, you can do it with any button in the air. I believe, alright? So if I'm incorrect, please, you know, point this out to me. But as long as you press hard slash on a button in the air, you will get your option select. So here we go. Too far, let's try again. Too far, let's try again. Yeah, there you go. And there you go. That's how you do the option select. Don't hold me to the air one. I play May, so May doesn't really get the luxury of doing too many option selects. This definitely benefits a lot of the characters. You gotta figure out if it really will benefit your character. Some characters prefer to actually just let their hard slash rock. Like in the case of May, this move is great for catching you out of the air if you try to jump out of it and whatnot. So yeah, look at that, have fun with it. Definitely incorporate it in some capacity for your game plan, right? Like, it's almost completely fine to always just do a option select, jump P, and throw at the same time. Okay, that should be it for OSing. So this is probably one of the most terrifying things in the game, I would say. If you're not aware of, this can actually make you lose the match very consistently. For whatever reason, Chip, May, and Anji, there might be more characters, but those are the three that come to mind to me, is that after an air throw, they can, after an air throw that puts you in the corner, their jump in may or may not have to be blocked in the opposite direction that they're jumping in. This is going to be great for you guys to do your replay thing too. So the rules are, as long as the attack is airborne, it'll have to be blocked the opposite direction. So here we go, like this. Alpha Blade. There you go. And just let you know, my Johnny is holding back. He is just holding away from this, away from Chip, and that attack crossed up. It's not limited to special moves, but I tend to find it to be a lot easier to do on players. So you can do something like this. Oopsies, I don't know the timing of it. Let's see here. Something like that. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on here. I think it's just that their air throws flip the opponent over and leave enough space in the corner for them to actually maneuver behind and do stuff like that. Good luck. Please practice this and be aware of it for sure. All right, thank you. So yeah, you're probably asking, well, why does this guy have Anji and why is IK activated? Well, I want to show you something really funny about this. Anji's IK is also considered airborne. So if you time this properly, you can make it the biggest crossup of your opponent's life ever. Let's see how it goes. And you go. That was in fact a cross-up. Good luck. Have fun with that one. Yeah, it's definitely one of the things you should definitely take advantage of. I don't really know who else could take advantage of it though, sadly. Sorry, guys. Okay, that's the end of this video. Those are 13 things. I know I said 12 at the beginning, but I don't want to edit it. But what I really want to know is, did you guys know about all of these? Like, I imagine some of them are common-ish knowledge, but I feel like, some of them are not. Let me know if any of these caught you by surprise. Leave a comment below. I will really appreciate it. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you, guys. Oh, yeah. If you want to watch me mash May, go follow me on Twitch TV, Pulsar. Thanks so much. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful night.